Imagine the African bush. The sun beats down relentlessly, casting long shadows over the golden savanna. The air shimmers with heat, and the landscape stretches endlessly, a canvas of raw, untamed beauty. This is a place where life and death are in constant motion, where every creature fights to carve out its existence. The air is thick with tension, as if the land itself holds its breath. Every rustle in the grass, every distant call, could signal danger. This is the African wilderness, where survival is a daily battle. This is Sabi Sands, a place of raw beauty and untamed wilderness. Nestled in the heart of South Africa, it is a sanctuary for some of the most iconic wildlife on the planet. But it is also a battleground where the strongest rise and the weak fall. Here, a legend was born. The Mapogo Lions, 6 brothers, masters of their domain. They were not just a coalition, they were a force of nature. Together, they rewrote the rules of lion behavior, forging a legacy that would be remembered for generations. They ruled with an iron paw, their dominance unmatched. Their strength was not just in their numbers but in their unity. They were a brotherhood, bound by blood and a shared purpose, to conquer and to survive. Their roar echoed through the savannah, striking fear into the hearts of all who heard it. These weren't just lions, they were apex predators, the stuff of nightmares. Their presence was a declaration of power, a warning to all who dared to challenge them. Their reign was a reign of terror. They tolerated no rivals. Any lion foolish enough to cross their path was met with swift and brutal retribution. They were warriors, their battles leaving scars on the land and in the memories of those who survived. No threats to their power were left unanswered. They defended their territory with a ferocity that was unmatched, ensuring that their dominance remained unchallenged. Their enemies were not just other lions, but the very forces of nature itself. They were the undisputed kings of Sabi Sands. Their rule extended far and wide, their influence felt in every corner of their domain. They were not just leaders, they were symbols of strength and resilience. Tales of their brutality spread like wildfire. Stories of their conquests, their hunts and their battles became the stuff of legend. They were feared and revered in equal measure, their names spoken in hushed tones across the savannah. From the largest elephant to the smallest impala, none were safe. The Mapagos were relentless, their hunger insatiable. They hunted with precision, their coordinated attacks leaving no room for escape. The Mapagos were a force of nature, unstoppable, unforgettable. They were not just lions, they were legends, their story etched into the very fabric of the African wilderness. Their story is a testament to the brutal reality of survival in the wild. It is a reminder that in the heart of the African bush, only the strongest endure. The Mapogo Lions were the embodiment of this truth, their legacy a powerful symbol of nature's raw and unforgiving beauty. The Mapagos' story began like many others. Born into the vast wilderness of Africa, their early days were filled with innocence and play. The savannah stretched endlessly before them, a world of opportunity and danger. They were just cubs then, unaware of the trials that lay ahead, blissfully ignorant of the legacy they would one day create. They were born into a pride, a family that offered protection and taught them the ways of survival. Their mother, ever watchful, nurtured them with care, while the pride's older members demonstrated the strength and unity that would one day define them. These early lessons were crucial, though the cubs could not yet comprehend their importance. But fate had other plans. The savannah is a place of beauty but also of harsh realities. As they grew, the cubs began to understand the challenges of their world. Predators, rival lions, and the unrelenting struggle for survival loomed large. The carefree days of their youth were fleeting, replaced by the demands of a life that required strength, cunning, and resilience. As they grew, so did their ambition. The young males began to test their strength, engaging in mock battles that prepared them for the real conflicts to come. These playful skirmishes were more than just games, they were the foundation of their future dominance. Each encounter honed their skills, building the confidence and determination that would define them as adults. They formed a coalition, an unbreakable bond of brotherhood. This was their strength. Together, they were more than just individuals. They were a force of nature. Their unity gave them an edge, allowing them to face challenges that would have been insurmountable alone. This bond was their greatest weapon, a testament to the power of loyalty and teamwork. Their unity was their power. It was a roar that echoed across the savannah, a declaration of their presence and their intent. They were not just surviving, they were thriving. carving out a place for themselves in a world that demanded nothing less than excellence. They challenged older, weaker males. These confrontations were not just battles, they were statements. The Mapogos were here to claim what they believed was rightfully theirs. Their strength and determination left no room for doubt. They were a new force, one that could not be ignored. They fought with a ferocity that shocked even seasoned rangers. Their battles were legendary, a display of raw power and unyielding will. The Mapagos were not just lions, they were warriors, each fight a testament to their dominance and their refusal to back down. Victory after victory cemented their reputation. They were fearless, they were ruthless, they were the Mapagos. Their name became synonymous with power. A legend whispered across the savannah. They were not just a coalition, they were a dynasty, reshaping the landscape of lion society. They took over prides, siring cubs, and expanding their territory. Their dominance was absolute. The Mapagos were not content with mere survival, they sought to leave a legacy. Their offspring carried their bloodline, ensuring that their influence would endure for generations to come. Their legend, forever etched in the annals of Sabi Sands. The Mapagos were more than just lions, they were a symbol of strength, unity, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Their story continues to inspire, a reminder of what it means to rise above adversity and leave an indelible mark on the world. Even as the Mapagos ruled, a new threat emerged from the shadows. In the vast expanse of Sabi Sands, another coalition was rising. The Selati Lions, 4 brothers, younger and hungrier. They watched, they waited, they learned from the Mapagos' reign. The Selatis were different. They were more strategic, more calculated. They understood the dangers of brute force alone. They knew that to defeat the Mapagos, they needed a plan. They bided their time, growing stronger, honing their skills. A clash was inevitable, a changing of the guard was coming. The question was, who would survive? The inevitable confrontation came with a roar. It was a sound that echoed across the savannah, a declaration of dominance and a warning to all who dared to challenge the mighty Mapagos. The air was thick with tension, the kind that precedes a storm. This was no ordinary day in the wild. It was a day that would alter the course of history for these lions. Mr. T, one of the mightiest Mapagos, became the focal point. He was their champion, their enforcer, and their symbol of power. With his scarred face and unyielding gaze, he embodied the ferocity and resilience of his coalition. For years, the Mapagos had ruled with an iron paw, their dominance unchallenged. But every reign has its challengers, and the Selati coalition was no exception. The Selatis, a younger and equally determined coalition, had been watching, waiting, and planning. They were ready for him. They knew that to dismantle the Mapagos, they had to take down their strongest link, and so, they devised a strategy, one that would test their courage and cunning against Mr. T's raw power. They lured him away from his brothers, a fatal mistake. Mr. T, confident in his strength, followed, unaware of the trap that awaited him. The Selatis had chosen their battleground carefully, a place where they could use their numbers to their advantage. The fight was brutal, a whirlwind of teeth and claws. The savannah became a battlefield, the air filled with the sounds of growls and roars. Dust rose as the lions clashed, their powerful bodies colliding in a display of primal fury. But the numbers were against Mr. T. For every blow he landed, there were 2 more waiting for him. The Selatis fought with a unity and determination that was hard to match. They had the advantage and they knew it. He fought bravely, his strength and skill on full display. But the Selatis were relentless, their attacks coordinated and unyielding. They had come to win, and they would not stop until their goal was achieved. Wounded and alone, Mr. T met his end. His body, once a symbol of power, now lay still on the savannah. The mighty lion who had once ruled with such authority was no more. It was a somber moment, a reminder of the harsh realities of life in the wild. The balance of power shifted. The Selatis had achieved what many thought impossible. They had defeated the great Mr. T. But their victory was not just about defeating a single lion, it was about changing the dynamics of the savannah. The fall of Mr. T signaled the beginning of the end for the Mapagos. Without their strongest member, the coalition was vulnerable. The Selatis had not only won a battle, they had set the stage for a new era. Their reign of terror was coming to a close. The sun set on the Mapagos' dominance, marking the rise of a new power in the savannah. The tides had shifted, and the wild was forever changed. With Mr. T gone, the remaining Mapagos were vulnerable, their unity shattered, their strength diminished. The Selatis pressed their advantage, picking them off one by one. The once mighty Mapagos were scattered, their rule broken. A new era had begun. The Selatis, now the undisputed rulers of Sabi Sands, faced a new set of challenges. They had to secure their territory, protect their prides, and ensure the continuation of their lineage. They were ruthless in their pursuit of power, but they were also shrewd. They knew that their reign, like the Mapagos before them, would not last forever. The Selatis, despite their initial success, faced constant threats. Rival coalitions, eager to seize power, tested their defenses. Internal strife, a constant danger in the lion world, threatened to tear them apart. They faced rebellions from within their own ranks. Other males, sensing weakness, challenged their authority. The life of a dominant lion was never easy. It was a constant battle for supremacy. The Selatis, though powerful, were not invincible.